So let's say you going down YouTube and you finally decide, hey, I'm gonna try this resale thing I keep hearing everyone talk about, because I keep seeing the StockX app and this Goat app, and I want to make money too. So let's say you go into the search bar and you type in how to start reselling Yeezys, and you come across Tresonit's video and you watch it, and you're like, okay, I think I got a gist of it. I kind of understand the proxy and the bot thing, but this group, like, what the hell is a cook group? I mean, he kind of explained it, but I need a little bit more of an in-depth discussion on what that really is. That's what this video really is for and about. I know I didn't go super in depth with that topic specifically, but I kind of just want to revisit that and really talk about what that whole thing is about. So when you are looking at a group, to define it, the most simple definition I could even give for a group is a community whose goal is to increase their members' profits. But now when you start to look at like different types of groups, you have to understand that different groups are for different things. So if you are more into Funko, you will tailor more so toward a Funko group. If you like stocks, stock group. If you are looking for everything under the sun, an AIO group, which doesn't always focus mainly on sneakers, or a cook group, which is usually a culmination of all things, but a cook group's main focus is shoes. So similar to how you pick a college, you need to pick a cook group that is right for you. What this means is I have these groups set up into 3 different categories. You have your larger groups, bigger groups, your middle groups, and then your smaller groups. Now, if you are someone who, let's say, just started shoes and you have no idea what a proxy is, you barely even know what Yeezy Supply is, maybe a bigger group isn't for you. Reason being, just how, let's say, a bigger school is, there are going to be a ton of members, and sometimes you might just get thrown off and just anxious at the amount of information that's being thrown at you. So for someone like that, I would say look more toward a smaller or a middle group. A smaller group, I would say, falls into the under 150 to 200 member count. A middle group, I would say, goes to that 150 to 200 up to, like, let's say 500 member count. And then a larger group, I would say, is above 500 members. If not 500, then I would say above 400 or 350. Now, if you are someone who has a pretty good knowledge of what a bot is, a pretty good knowledge of what proxies and everything like that is, it's a lot harder for you to pick what group is right for you, because again, a smaller group is gonna have a different experience than a larger group. So when we actually finally look and break down each of these, I have certain pros and cons to each. So starting off with the bigger groups, a pro for a bigger group is they usually have great connections, an active community, and then they sometimes even have additional software that they give to the members for free, like spoof browsers, Gmail activity, bots, and stuff like that. But some of the cons is some of the best and biggest groups are hard to get into, and this is just because just how shoes are and bots, they don't want too many people to have access to this info that they are giving out. Sometimes these groups do cost a lot. I've seen some groups that charge $75 a month. And then just due to how like a big school would be, due to the sheer amount of members, they can't always give you that one-on-one time that you may need. And then this is one that I know is going to ruffle a few feathers, but I do find it is very, very true. Some groups, and this is like probably like 0.1% or 1% of all groups, owners don't always keep their members number one. Meaning sometimes they would take a shitty ass group buy just because they want that check, or just because they feel like, hey, we haven't done a group buy in a while, fuck it, let's just throw this up. It doesn't always happen, and it really never happens, but I have seen it happen, and I hate it so much. And this is something that I feel like isn't just for bigger groups, but for all groups in general. Just how you have good people out there, you have bad people. So same thing with owners. You have really, really good owners, but then, you do have some of the scum who, the money gets to them and they just do some shady stuff like that. Some of these bigger groups are overhyped. Some of these bigger groups are not worth the money. And that has been shown, whether it be by owners who leak or just do shady shit. Because there was just even a situation this past week where a group and a bot got caught doing some shady things. Now, moving over to the middle groups, a pro is usually a middle group, like the name would be around mid cost. So meaning around the price of it would be, let's say, $35 or $40, while a bigger group may cost $60 or $50 usually. Some of these, and then also the community is also pretty active, not always as active as, let's say, a bigger group, but it is still there. And then a good amount of time, the group does have pretty good connections. They may not have the connections with the bigger bots for monthly group buys, but they do get by with what they do have. Sometimes these groups can be overpriced, and I'm going to say that for every single group rank. Then, like I said, for the bigger groups, sometimes the owners can be shit, right? You have good apples, you have bad apples. Moving on to the smaller groups, most of these are low to mid cost, and they usually are worth the money. And then a lot of the times, the experience you will get in a smaller group will be much more tailored to the members. And this is just because with a smaller amount of people, the owners and the support staff are able to do more one-on-one things. And then just because they are a smaller group, they don't always have the best connections, but they usually strive in overall experience to the user. So although they may not get group buys, you can usually bet that the owners are going to do everything in their power to really make sure that their members are getting their money's worth. Because, just how a small fish wants to be a big fish, that small group owner wants to have 1,000 members or 500 members, just how the bigger groups already have. So when we take a look at an example group, I would use my personal group, Bot Kings. That is right, I do own a group. Be sure to follow us on Twitter for restock notifications, and I may actually have some memberships on the site now. If I do, I will have a password on the screen currently with the link so you all can visit and purchase a membership there. The cost is $25 a month, and we are around a 40 to 50 person group last time I checked. And for me personally, what I'm really looking for is that one-on-one experience. We don't have the best connections. I don't get monthly group buys with PD or TKS, but that is something that we are always striving and really working towards. So when you look at, let's say, my group, we are a smaller group, we are low to mid cost, and the experience that I do give my members is much more tailored to them. I have no problem hopping in a call for an hour and helping out a member, let's say, set up TKS or understanding what proxies are or anything like that. Getting that, let's say, in a bigger group may be a lot harder just due to the sheer amount of people that are in the bigger group. So when you are picking a group, do understand that we have reached, I would say, almost a mature market when it comes to cook groups, meaning a lot of the quote unquote innovations have already come and gone. What you are really looking for now is that one-on-one experience and really figuring out what is important to you. If you want monthly group buys for, let's say, your favorite bot, I would say go to a bigger group. If you're really looking for that one-on-one experience, I would say head on over to that smaller group or that mid-tier group. The best thing for you to do yourself is, I would say, maybe split a membership with a friend and maybe hop into, let's say, 2 or 3 groups all at different levels, and then figure out, hey, what works best for me, and then based off of the information you get from that, make your final decision at the end of that month. Let me know what you all thought of the video. This is something a little bit different. Let me also know your 2 cents down below. I want to know what you all think about this, and let other people know, to the more veteran guys, what did you all think of before you joined the group? What was and is important to you when you are looking to join a new group? I hope you all really did enjoy this video. Actually happy I'm doing 2 videos this week. I'm gonna try to keep this up in the weeks to come, and I will see you all hopefully on Sunday for another live call. All right, everyone.
Walk around Atlanta in a purple Montclair. Money, long blonde hair, I don't care. Ain't that your little girlfriend standing over there? She walked over to my chair. Then she started to dirty dance, her hands down my pants. Dick it down like my name Dirty Dan, just call me Dirty Dan. She gon' twerk for these bands, she gon' hit a handstand. Hollow tips ricochet, hit him